It's here.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, and it's October 13th, 2020, which means it is day 13 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 9. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And today, sequel week continues with one of these fine entries in the Predator franchise, going from Predator 2 all the way to Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. I'm including those two in sequel week. But before I reveal which one I will be doing in this video, I need you to click subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified for any future videos I will be creating right here on this channel. Hit the like and share button to help me get my videos and channel out there to a much broader audience, and as well as leave a comment down below because I want to hear what you have to say about the Predator franchise. Which one do you like is the best? Which one is the weakest? Which one's just in the middle? I want to know what you have to say about my thoughts as well, and what I have to say about today's movie, which is Predator 2, starring Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Bill Paxton. I think he has a very distinct honor being killed by the Predator, and as well as the Xenomorph from Aliens, and the Terminator, which I think only one other person has that distinct honor. I think Lance Hendrickson, I think he has that honor as well. So, the first Predator is my first rated R movie, so I have always been a big fan of the Predator franchise, and this one is no exception. I really liked Predator 2, because if they really had to make a sequel to the first iconic Predator, they had to do the very opposite. Like, when you got these muscle-bound commandos in the jungle, so in the middle of this war, this like espionage thing going on, and like they totally did the opposite. They put them in the like New York. The main character is just like this cop who's played by Danny Glover, which he's fantastic in this movie, and set in the middle of a gang war, basically, and it's just like, oh, this is really, really fun, and it explores all the ins and outs of the city, like from the subways to the top of the buildings. I love it, and also it proves that the Predator is very adaptive. Like, it will, like, no matter the environment, it can still survive and hunt, and that's what I really liked about this movie, is because even though it's set in the city, it still has a lot of stuff going on for it, and because it's just a lot of fun, because especially when Gary Busey gets into this movie, and that's when this movie really kind of takes off, because the Predator is kind of roaming around this city and kind of doing his own thing, and killing people left and right, like mainly really truly bad guys. He's killing like King Louis, and he ends up killing a cop, which I think that's what makes him, what Danny Glover, kind of have a personal personal stake in this little battle with the Predator, and as well as is just Bill Paxton. He's so great in this movie, and so when Gary Busey's character comes in, because Gary Busey's character is well aware of what this thing is, because due to the prior events in the first Predator movie, he's been trying to track one down, and kind of like this is what it's capable of, and it's like don't let it set off the little wrist nuke he has. So. And there's some really good scenes in this movie, like the scenes that takes place in the meat locker, trying to use the Predator's heat vision and infrared, and well, that's basically the same thing. It's just his various visions to against him, and I really like that, and as well as the final climactic battle between Danny Glover and the Predator, going from buildings to buildings, apartments to everything. And this has probably one of my favorite moments in the franchise, is when the Predator is nursing his wounds and like taking off his gear, and kind of doing kind of like field first aid to himself, and he's doing it in this old lady's bathroom, and she walks up to it, and it just, the predator takes off, and yeah, just, I love it. It's just funny, and especially when the predator starts to like howl in pain, and it's like, oh, this is so funny. And what I liked about this one is you get some more gadgets. You get the spear and I know the disc has a proper name, but it's the the Destructo disc basically, and and which is really great, and that is just they improve upon the lore of the Predator, I think, does in this movie. So when the final battle went down, also you get to see some elder designs of predators at the end of the movie, and they actually kind of like respect, or at least like, you know what, you've done your job, or I should not put it that way. It's like, you survived, and it's like, here's a weapon, and it's like, it's from like 1776 or something like that. But which is cool because the final battle takes place on the Predator spaceship, and you can see its various trophies in the background, which is really, really nice when you can see the Xenomorph head sitting on the wall, which kind of spawned like, oh, we will probably get a future installment, which I don't think is done, which hadn't been done properly, even though the first one was actually pretty decent, had its moments, but then the sequel, this AVP2 is just so dark, and it just needed to be done differently. I liked how it was set in a city, and the people were kind of caught in this town in the mountains or whatever. It's just too dark, and we're just too much focus on the human characters in that particular one. When the title of the movie is Aliens versus Predator, you need to be more focused on the creatures themselves. So, but anyways, that was my pick for today, Predator 2. This is a great movie. I do have a rating scale. 1, run-of-the-mill horror. 2, best watch with a group. 3, it's more than average horror, but adds nothing new to the horror genre. 4, helps move the horror genre forward. And 5, being a horror classic. This one is really, really tough to rank, because I don't even think I can really, truly give it a proper one, because it is definitely best watch with the group, because this movie does have a lot of not funny moments, just a lot of fun moments to watch with somebody or a group of friends. It is definitely more than average horror, because it does have some like decent moments and scares, especially like when they're starting to do the gang, when this cop is kind of like investigating this massacre scene, and that the Predator ultimately did, and as well as it's also helps move the horror genre forward, showing that sequels are really good. It can be really good, but it's not really a horror classic. So I'm going to have to give it about a 2.5, like right in the middle. It's definitely a watch with a friends, but it's definitely more than your run in the mill. So it's definitely right there in the middle. So I highly recommend Predator 2. It's so much fun. I really, really like this one. It's a very worthy sequel of the first one, and that's my opinion. Because the later sequels are really good. I like Predators with Adrian Brody and Danny Trejo, and who else is? Oh, everyone is in that movie. Lawrence Fishburne. Like, when they're on the alien planet, I absolutely love that idea. I think that is a very well done idea. And then the Predator has his moments. That's probably, to me, that's definitely the weakest of the entries. I say even AVPR has some moments that are above that one. But overall, this is Predator 2 is probably the best sequel out of all of them. So, and that's tough, because I really, really like Predators. I really, really like that one. So, but anyways, I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and my final words are always, thank you.